We are going live. What's up, everybody? It is Tyler with Hook Sets Are Free. It is 9:50 p.m. on Friday night, October the 28th. So I'm going to give people just a couple of minutes to hop in here because I know that a bunch of people are over watching Rich from Hellabass right now. I know he's still streaming. So it might take people a couple minutes to hop in here, but what we're going to do is do a little unboxing from Discount Tackle tonight. And I'm going to give some of this stuff away and just generally inform you of some really good deals going on right now so that you guys can take advantage. You'll see in the description below of this video um, that I've thrown in a couple affiliate links. Those are the products specifically that we're going to be opening today and that I'm going to be giving away, and that are technically cheapest right now over on Discount Tackle. You would have seen them in the thumbnail of this video as well. So there are three different baits that are like 50% off at Discount Tackle right now. And there's a handful of other baits that are also heavily discounted, but are not in this package that I probably will pick up in like this upcoming month's package from Discount Tackle. So we will talk about those as well. I'll probably pull those up during the stream and show you guys those baits, and we can kind of talk about it, give first impressions and things like that. But let's give folks a few minutes to hop over from Hellabass, and we will open up this package. But tonight I'm drinking a little Odell Brewing Company Drumroll Hazy IPA. This is one of my favorite beers. You guys know that. So I see Kelly O'Neill in the chat, Bruce Nichols, Adam Odin, Brendan, and Daniel. What's up, guys? Yo, yo. Happy Friday night to you. It's the weekend. I hope you guys are going to have an opportunity to go fishing. I had one opportunity this week, and I only caught one fish. It was so cold. I went at night, and it was probably 45, maybe pushing 50 degrees, but it was breezy. So I fished for like a half hour, then warmed up in the car and went back out. Ended up catching a fish on the 6-inch Mag Draft Freestyle. Had that nail weighted on the belly so that I could swim it a little bit faster. And that's something that we can certainly talk about a little bit later. But that was the one bite that I got this week when I went out. So, yeah, unfortunate. We had a cold front come through. It snowed about 3 inches here yesterday. First snow of the year for us, but melted pretty quick. Is all gone already. So I don't know when I'm going to have an opportunity to get out. I might tomorrow if my wife doesn't get called into work tonight, but that's kind of a long shot. We've got plans tomorrow. So anyway, I hope to get out soon because this is about the time of year when I tend to catch one or two of my best fish of the year. And last year was no different. I think I caught my biggest fish of the year at like right around this week last year, and was right at 5 pounds. And so I am hoping to get on another good fish or two before the season's over. But I mean, shoot, November's in just a few days. So Daniel says dual streaming. I'll do a channel shout out for you on Rich's stream. Okay, well, appreciate you then. Yeah, no doubt, Brendan. It is definitely big fish time. I completely agree with that. It is, kind of last ditch effort because I think in about a month from now, most of my waters will be frozen over. And in that period of time, we'll have a couple of snowstorms, a couple of really tough times to actually get out. So um, at this point, it's just like all or nothing. Probably going to be throwing um, big baits and shallow running baits, trying to catch fish that are feeding up and are feeding more aggressively. Probably won't be wasting a whole lot of time on bottom and fishing slow. But yeah, Bruce says, I finally managed to stay up tonight. Well, sweet, dude. I will try and run this giveaway here in the next half hour or so. This it's not like this entire live stream needs to be made up by this unboxing and giveaway. So we'll just kind of plow through these and do the giveaway and then move on and talk about a few other things and just see kind of where the conversation goes from there. But appreciate you joining in, Bruce. Brendan, it is unfortunate that we freeze over, but the good news is I get to ski all winter. I am almost as passionate about skiing as I am fishing. It's been more of a lifelong passion for me for going on 30, 31 years now. And yeah, I will probably never stop doing that either. So I always look forward to this time of year. Not for the lack of fishing, but just the anticipation of skiing coming up, just like it is for fishing come February or March for me, as I get kind of desperate to get out and fish. But I do get some of my fix in doing a little bit of winter fly fishing for trout and things like that. But you said come down here and we can fish frogs year round. Well, that sounds pretty sick, dude. Guggen Slayer's getting out fishing tomorrow. Nice. Brendan, I do have some footage of me skiing, both here in Colorado and on a couple of heli skiing trips in Canada. But yeah, I've never posted any of it online. Maybe I'll show you guys sometime, or maybe I'll just post a random video and perhaps delete it, even though it's not at all related to what this channel is. So, guys, without any further ado, let's get into this package that I received in the mail from Discount Tackle this week. I did not place this order, but funny enough, I was seriously considering buying some of the things in here simply because of the deals going on right now at Discount Tackle. So I did drop affiliate links to the 3 products that are in this package. You can check them out if you'd like. I suggest you at least check them out. I don't know if you're going to want all of these baits or any of these baits, but it is the end of season sale going on right now at Discount Tackle. And so it is a good time to peruse the website and see if you can save a little bit of extra cash. All right. Bruce says all the locals are drunk falling out of tree stands here. Yeah, it sounds about right. It's that time of year. Tennessee Bassmaster says they're talking about you on Hellabass. Okay, sweet. Nice, man. Cool. So first up here, guys, is, and keep in mind, these are all 13 Fishing soft plastics. I have 0 experience using these baits. I have some experience using 13 Fishing hard baits, and I like them. You know, the only experience I really have with soft baits with them so far are these paddle tail swim baits of theirs, the BAMF shad, and these wedge tail bluegills, and some of the swim baits that they have collabed with Coalition Baits. And I think on the hard bait side, they work with another company. And then I'm not 100% sure about these. It looks like they make these in Florida, but I've got a handful of packs of this bait right here. This is a paddle tail swim bait called My Name's Jeff. Okay. This is a 4-inch paddle tail swim bait, and it says it weighs a 1/4 ounce. So kind of interesting to see a soft plastic with the weight on the package itself. But let's pull this out and see what this My Name's Jeff swim bait is about. Okay, interesting. So this bait right here is definitely different than your average paddle tail swim bait, and I can't quite tell whether it's meant to be thrown like a standard paddle tail swim bait or on the back of a jig of some sort. Something I noticed right away about it is that it has a hollow belly. And it's got all of these maybe a different color will allow you to see this better, but it's got all of these ribs, or rather these rigging holes where you could rig a hook out the back, and it's hollow at each of these slots throughout the body of the bait. So you get a solid nose and then some hollow portion of the body. So I could see this working on a Texas rig or something where you might actually drag it on bottom. Uh, another jig or a wobble head. I could see this working on a drop shot, or obviously on the back of a swim jig or something like that. But I think this thing would wear out a little bit quicker on a swim jig or something of the sort. So I'm really not quite sure what to make of this bait and what to do with it, but it's different, that's for sure. Do you guys know what this bait is designed for? Because 13 has another paddle tail swim bait that I think is called the Churro, which is a much fatter bait than this one. This guy here has a really skinny tail, and I've got this in a handful of other colors, so let's just kind of rifle through them. I've got 4 other colors in this bait, so you guys tell me which color you want specifically. But this one is called Cold Cuts. And now check this out. There's 2 different forms of packaging for the same bait. Obviously, I much prefer this smaller pack with the tighter clamshell that holds all 5 of these baits. So this color here is called Cold Cuts, and it's more of a traditional black and blue with like that sapphire blue belly. And just to show you again, this tail is pretty different. It's flat so that it's going to create a little bit of a gliding action, but then this is a really skinny and small boot tail on the back of here. So I would think it's going to have a very subtle kicking action, but I am not totally sure. I should have brought some towels down here because now my fingers are all covered in this scent. They call it donkey sauce. Dave says that donkey sauce is potent on the 13 baits, and yes, it is. It's now on my fingers, and I'm struggling to scroll through the comments here. Let's catch up and see what you guys are saying. I like the Jeffs. Bruce says the tail has a ton of movement on this bait. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised given just how skinny it is, but it does have a really small boot on it. So I wouldn't be surprised either way. Who said chatterbait? Bruce says I use them on chatterbaits. I could see that working fairly well. Brendan says super subtle action on a Superline EWG. Yeah, you'd have to fish that super slow, but I would imagine it's a good bait fished that way as well. So let's roll through some of these and show you the other colors real quick, and I'll try and read your comments as I'm going through. So Cold Cuts, essentially that's like a black and blue, but with more of like a purple than a blue. I don't know if you'd be able to see this up in the light. You can't. I can see it really well, but that's a good color. And then white. So this kind of rounds out the bases for me in terms of colors. I'm not sure why that's not focusing for you, but that is horrendous. Standard, white ice type of color. Smoke and mirrors is what they call it. And then this is like an alewife. They call it Royal Irishman. This is a pretty wicked color. I might need to pull it out to show it to you. I suppose I will. Matt says, did you get bit by the 13 fishing bug? Haha. They make some pretty nice baits. No, I did not get bit by the bug. I was sent these baits I was already a little bit curious about them, but was hesitant to try them for whatever reason. I think because 13 kind of came hot onto the scene like Guggen baits did, with just like a million baits all at once. And as a consumer, I am hesitant of that kind of thing. So it weirded me out a little bit. I just assume that they're rushing things to market, that there's got to be something's missing, whether it's quality or design or what have you. But in general, I've been fairly impressed with them, but I haven't tried their soft plastics really until now. So these were sent to me, and I'm probably going to pick some more up. Maybe not necessarily these specific baits in these colors because I've already got them. Look at this color. That thing pops. Royal Irishman. That is a nice color. A lot of purple flake in there. So far, that one is probably my favorite. And then we've got one that's like an IU type of color. It's like a green pumpkin pearl-ish type of color. They call it beer batter. So very, very subtle, bait fishy. Like a little bit of a brown type of belly and more of a greenish brown back. So you guys tell me, what colors did you like best in that? I'm going to give away at least one, if not two packs of the My Name is Jeff. What colors do you like best? Which would you want for your own stash? If you were to win tonight's giveaway, what color do you want? This dang donkey sauce, man. It's getting everywhere. Brennan says, if there's Royal Irishman, I will take it. Okay. Well, deal. Let me catch up. Frank says, the only 13 fishing bait I have is the Micro Magic Man. Okay, that lipless crankbait. Laid a beat down on Debo Danks with it tonight. Interesting. Yeah, I don't have that bait. I'm catching up. Dustin Taylor, what's up? Hell is done, so I figured I'd stop by. Appreciate it, Dustin. Yeah, you could win some free baits here. What colors do you guys want? Should I go ahead and give you the best color, the Royal Irishman, throw that in the giveaway, and then maybe throw in another one? Carl says cold cuts. Dustin, I don't know whether they have more of a rolling action. I would also assume that, given the rounded body, but it is flat on bottom. So I see it as either a dragging bait or a more subtle swimming bait through the middle of the column. But I don't think it's going to have the same big kick that a traditional boot tail would. So I think you're just going to have to think a little bit outside the box, whether you're drop shotting, Carolina rigging, free rigging, maybe throwing it on the back of a chatterbait or something like that, or even, like I said, maybe a wobble head, something along those lines. But the hollow body portion of it makes me think that it's going to be a little bit less durable. So I don't know. Tom says, evening, just dropping in from the 2.5-hour Hellabass punch fishing session. What up, dude? JP Harrell, what up, what up? Hellabass, word indeed. Hello, newcomers. What's up, everybody? Appreciate the fact that you guys are in here and that Rich sent you guys. So first thing, at least, going in the giveaway is this color, which I think is the coolest color of the four that I just showed you. But if you want, maybe I'll go ahead and potentially also throw in that black and blue cold cuts color. Maybe I'll just tentatively put it in there. Next bait, which is one that I really had never considered until it just showed up in this package for me. But now that I look at it, is eerily familiar. And here we've got the same problem with same bait and multiple types of packaging. Looks like at least 2, if not 3 different size bags, which is weird to me, but this guy right here is the 13 Fishing Joystick Ultra Thin. So this is just a thin stick bait that's got a kicker tail on it. So what bait does this remind you guys of? It's got the patented rabbit tail ears from 13 Fishing, but this is a super skinny worm that, to me, reminds me a lot of just like the standard Yamamoto cut tail worm. Very skinny body, subtle worm here. So 5.5 inches. I don't know exactly how I'm going to rig this thing. I almost think it would be best to trim it down by 1 inch and just thread this thing on the back of a spinner bait. I mean, I suppose you could throw it on a swim jig, although it's got no bulk to it. But this thing is going to be really subtle. I think it would be good on a shaky head, and just any super finessey presentation. So you can see just how skinny these baits are. These come 3, 6, 7 to a pack. Now keep in mind, I don't think the retail price on any of these 13 Fishing baits is good, but I do think that the clearance price is good. So for $2.99 on all of these baits, I think they're worth a shot. So this is not a this is a black and blue color. It's called Blackberry Cobbler. This one is called Black and Tan, and I really like it. I don't want to get every one of these out for you, but I do want to show you a couple of these colors, if these clamshells will open easily for me. Holy shnikes, this is even smaller. Okay, so that first one was 5.5 inches. This right here is 4.5 inches. Goodness, it's even smaller. So black and tan, kind of a cool color pattern. But man, this is just like a spinnerbait trailer right here. Wow. There was a Yamamoto worm that was not the standard cut tail worm, but like the curly tail worm. That's what these bodies remind me of. Just a super skinny worm. And I know that's really popular in like the JDM world right now. In Japan, they throw a lot of really skinny baits. Like the Zoom Swamp Crawler, to them is the deal, which is why you see certain baits like this guy right here, the OSP MMZ worm, doing so incredibly well. So I would imagine those people probably like this type of bait too. So this is the Blueberry Yum Yum color. It is very blue. Also the 4.5 inch size. And then this is the OG Sour, which is essentially just a watermelon red. Also in the 4.5 inch. So 3 packs in the 4.5 inch and 1 in the 5.5 inch. I'll let you guys decide what you want to go in the giveaway for that. I mean, these are so wild, you know. Maybe the Blueberry Yum Yum for you guys. Okay. And then lastly, there's one other bait here that is in the giveaway. And this is a little bit more of a traditional bait. While we're at it, I forgot these were in the package. Check out this cool sticker from Discount Tackle. I showed you guys last week that's a new little design of theirs. And then they've got little keychains now. So, yippee. Last bait is the bubble butt. Okay, this is a shaky head worm. Okay. Again, I think this one, I got 2 different sizes. So 5 inch, 5 inch. Oh, here's another pack of the 5.5 inch in the ultra thin rabbit Ooh, that Pimpin' Purple. That's a cool color. Man, are you guys just gonna... I can't give you all of the best stuff. Take it easy, guys. All right, so 2 of the My Name's Jeff and 1 of each of the sizes of that little guy. And then last, we've got the bubble butts. And I think we've got 2 sizes of the bubble butt. We've got a 6-inch and a 5-inch. So you'll get 1 of each of those as well. And so for colors in the 5-inch, let's see what this guy's about. Wow, this is actually thicker than I would have thought in the midsection of the body before it starts to taper down. And these little cutouts in the baits add for like a quasi segment, a little bit more action and undulation. So I actually quite like this bait and think it would be good on a wacky rig or a Neko rig, perhaps better than it would on a shaky head when I am first looking at it. Now, I don't think the packaging tells you how to use these baits, so it's totally up to you, but my first impression is that this thing could do really well on a wacky rig or a Neko rig. But what do you guys think of this bait right here? This is like a traditional June bug color. They call it Witch's Brew. This is a nice clamshell design that will fit these baits perfectly. But June bug, classic. We've got that same bait in green pumpkin, which they call collard greens. And we've got it in black and tan, that color that I just showed you. It's that two-toned color. Bruce, Neko rig ready. Yeah, no doubt. All right. Here is the black and tan. Oh, shite. Just flip that upside down. Okay, so you can see this two-toned color. It's like a black and blue green pumpkin, but the green pumpkin on a lot of these baits is more truly tan than it is green pumpkin. But here, this is just like that hybrid color. 6 cents makes the color. It's a good one. So little half and half color. So you guys tell me what color you want in the 5-inch. Do you want June bug? Do you want green pumpkin? Or do you want that black and tan half and half color? And I will throw one into the pile. Dustin Taylor, you've never Neko rigged? Why not, dude? It is a very underrated presentation. If you fish places where you've got mossy, grassy bottoms, dude, a Neko rig can be absolutely killer. So I think it does well around rock on bottom as well, because your hook is going to be halfway up the worm. It's a bottom contact type of rig, but I think it gets hung up a little bit less than a shaky head. And I don't find that I get it hung up all that frequently. So yeah, I mean, ideally, you're just going to use some standard tungsten nail weights. You know what I mean? Some of these dudes right here. They don't even need to be tungsten. If you use lead, you can cut them down or break them off to really customize how much weight you're getting into the bait. But it's remarkable how much you do not need to put weight in there. You can get away with a 1/16 of an ounce, and it's going to make that tail fall straight down. And so then as you work the bait, if there's any buoyancy in the bait, that thing is going to have a pulsing wacky rig action and probably a little bit more to the side. So the bait will stand up, perhaps be a little bit bent over, and then be pulsing as it's working along the bottom. So very underrated technique that you do need to give a shot, dude. Brendan, my cam's pulling Matt's little stunt out of focus. Hopefully it's a little bit better now, but sorry. We got the 6-inch bubble butt now. Blueberry Yum Yum. It's cool that they say that these baits weigh 3/8 of an ounce. That this bait weighs 1/4 of an ounce. I don't think any company out there actually labels the weight of their soft plastic baits, but kind of interesting to know that you could throw this thing weightless and it's 3/8 of an ounce. It's going to throw pretty well on its own. So Blueberry Yum Yum, we already talked about this bait. This is more of a traditional deep blue color than like a June bug, but somewhat similar in that there's a lot of green flake, a lot of blue flake in that. So that's the Blueberry Yum Yum. And this is called Mardi Gras, which I will show you. And I'm sure you guys will steal this one off of me, which I'm totally fine with. But this is like a green pumpkin purple type of color. Oh, well, just kidding. This is more of your traditional sprayed grass color. So all these names are really hard to, interpret or know exactly what you're getting until you see the colors. But this is your sprayed grass color. So you tell me. We've got 2 sizes of this bubble butt, the 6-inch and the 5-inch. The 6-inch you have sprayed grass or straight Blueberry Yum Yum, and the 5-inch you've got black and tan, green pumpkin, or June bug. Tell me which colors you want of those, and I'll throw them in, and we will do this giveaway in just 1 minute. All right. I appreciate you guys hopping in here and hanging out for a little bit. Once we do the giveaway, you're welcome to leave. No problem. Or you're welcome to hang out. We will chill for a little bit tonight and talk about anything and everything else that you guys are interested in. But I figured I'd hop on here, share with you guys not only information that there are some good deals going on right now, but sharing some of the wealth of what was sent to me, and do a little free giveaway for you guys. So Dustin says, I've got all the stuff, just haven't felt the need to try it. I almost feel allergic to the fairy wand. Yeah, that's the issue, is you do have to throw it on a spinning setup. So if you were to throw a wacky rig, I find that a Neko rig is something that I can throw with just a little bit more pride. For me, it's like where a Ned rig meets a wacky rig. So both techniques are so incredibly deadly, but ones that maybe I utilized and found a lot of success, and then kind of, I don't know, got sick of it, got like it almost became too easy and not fun for me anymore. So I switched it up, and the Neko rig is kind of the new deal that gives you a similar type of action to target the same type of fish. But you're right, Brendan. 13 does like messing with the names of everything. Make them pretty provocative too, which is crazy. Dustin says, I'm not sure I've ever fished a weightless wacky rig, only weighted or weightless Texas rigged because I can use a baitcaster. I hear you. Some of these at 3/8 of an ounce, you can definitely throw weightless on a Texas rig if you want to get away with it. All right. Brendan says, Blueberry Yum Yum. Blueberry Yum Yum and green pumpkin. All right. We could do that. Let's do that. All right. So go green pumpkin and Blueberry Yum Yum. How about that? Collard greens. Okay, sweet. This feels good. You guys are getting 6 packs of soft plastics from 13 Fishing, all different baits. And I'm going to show you guys one more time right now, and we will run this giveaway. Although I might need assistance. I've never actually done a giveaway through StreamYard. So can Rich or someone else tell me in here right now if I'm able to do that with a free version of StreamYard or not? You know, I can think of a creative way to do the giveaway if not, but if I can just do it the way that Rich and other people have been doing it with like the keyword type of thing, that would be awesome. But all right, guys, here is what is up in the giveaway right now. We've got 2 packs of the My Name's Jeff 4-inch paddle tail swim bait. We got this awesome color called the Royal. Well, this is Cold Cuts. Sorry, this is blue and purple. And this is Royal Irishman, which is more of like an alewife, super shiny type of color. So 2 packs of those. Then we've got 2 packs of the Joystick Ultra Thin. So here, this is the Blackberry Cobbler in the 5.5 inch. And then the Blueberry Yum Yum in the 4.5 inch. Maybe I need to switch that up because I've got the Blueberry Yum Yum coming up. How did I goof that up, guys? All right, here you go. Watermelon Red, OG Sour. And then we got Green Pumpkin in the Bubble Butt in the 5 inch. And we've got Blueberry Yum Yum in the Bubble Butt in the 6 inch. Okay, so 6 packs of 13 Fishing soft plastics. These guys retail right at, you know, $6-ish per pack. So retail value of $35 to $40. And I want to give them away to one of you guys right now. All right. So let's see if I can catch this link real quick. StreamYard.com/giveaway. Excuse me for not having done this before, but let's see if I can get this going quickly. All right, so this is just 13 Fishing collecting comments. Do you guys see that or no? How do I tell you guys what I just set it to? All you're gonna want to enter is hashtag 13 Fishing. Why didn't that pop up on? Oh, I have to share it. That makes sense, I suppose. Let's go ahead and share you guys. Well, there she is. Hashtag 13 Fishing. Go ahead. Enter in, guys. I'm going to give it like 5 minutes, all right? I don't expect that there's going to be a million entries. There's 27 people in here right now. So, you know, if we get to 20 people, great. But if not, I'm not concerned with how many people are entering right now. That is not important to me. I just wanted to get on here and give back a little bit. And a lot of you guys in here tonight maybe came from Rich's stream and could be just getting lucky. I almost feel bad for like the half of you guys that are always in here. That you might not win these. But like we've talked about before, I've got a whole bunch of things that are adding up right now. And if you want, I can show you what's in the pile real quick, because it's getting pretty good. I can't grab all this stuff, but I'll show you a few things. Punch Fishing, what's up, dude? So, yeah, I don't even know why I brought some of these soft plastics over, but underrated bait, the Zoom Beatdown, electric shad, Mag Draft Freestyle, 6-inch Mag Draft, 5-inch. These, a big batch just came to the U.S. Recently, I picked some of those up. Got one of the 13 Fishing Jabberjaws and one of the 6 cents Axis so that you guys could try those out side by side. Got a couple of the Hybrid Hunter Juniors. I've also got full-size Hybrid Hunters that I can give away. Got like a KVD flat side 1.5, some, wiggle warts in some good colors, some chatterbaits and stuff like that. So the pile is getting bigger, and we need to run a giveaway soon. I'm also giving away a whole unopened bottle of bait fuel. So a bunch of other stuff. And then I've got an entire bag. This giveaway stuff that I've been meaning to give away for a long time, full of chatterbait trailers and chatterbaits. This is like most of the models in the chatterbait line and many of my favorite chatterbait trailers to go with them. So I have a lot of giveaway stuff to do. Do a Christmas giveaway, says Matt. Well, maybe I will. That's a good idea. Daniel wants that 5-inch Mag Draft. Of course you do, dude. I'm just spilling stuff everywhere. Whatever. All right, let's check out where we are on this little giveaway deal here. I don't know how to check it. What are we at? 12? What does that say? 12? I'll give you guys 2 more minutes. All right. If anybody else wants to hop in, hashtag 13 fishing. Rich, Punch, guys, don't feel bad entering the giveaway. Please feel free to do so. And R. Spencer, I'm not sure if that counts as an entry. Leave another comment with just hashtag 13 fishing. See if that adds one more to the deal. I don't know if it does. But I'm going to draw it right now. Suck less. I think we're all trying, Rich, Brennan says, I have been looking for some 7-inch spark shads. Well, they're not easy to find, dude. Not easy to find. It is a great bait, though. I'm surprised, though. Well, actually, I'm not, because you made the argument when I was showing the 5-inch Mag Draft, saying, "Oh, I'll just throw a 5-inch spark shad." I could see people making the same argument instead of the 7-inch spark shad to throw the Mag Draft, but these are cheaper than the Mag Draft, and they're different. Good bait for sure. All right, let's run this giveaway. We got 14 entries, and someone's going to win right now. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ryan S. You are the winner, Ryan S. Congratulations. Dude, send me an email to hooksetsarefree18@gmail.com or send me a direct message on Instagram at hooksets.arefree. All right. And I'll send out your package this week. I've got 3 other packages that I need to send out. You know, 2 of which I just told Carl Ferg and Matt on here that I would send them a jackhammer chatterbait or 2 each. So I've got a handful of packages I need to send out. Ryan, I will send yours out as well once I get all of your contact information. So, yeah, hit me up, dude. Hopefully you're still in here. At least let me know real quick that you are still in here, Ryan. Because if you're not, maybe I'll let somebody else claim it. Okay. Oh, I totally missed something. All right. Ryan's still here. Sweet, Ryan. All right, hit me up, dude, and I'll send out your package. You know, it's kind of same deal for me. Like, I didn't know that I wanted these baits, and I don't know that I'm gonna love these baits either. But um, one, they're a little bit different, so you never know. I like to keep an open mind, and there's always the possibility that might end up falling in love with one of these baits. And the other part of the equation is they're dirt cheap right now, guys. I'm telling you, um, like I'm tempted to just hop over to Discount Tackle right now and show you guys um, what the deals are at the moment because they're good. And I don't know really any of these baits. I have zero experience with them. So let's go ahead and just take a quick peek at them. You know, when I search 13 fishing soft plastics on Discount Tackle, this is what I get. So you can see that the bubble butt retails for $6.49, is on sale for $2.99. So some of these other baits that aren't necessarily as cheap are still a really good deal. You know, this lunch bug looks a lot like, you know, a rage craw or whatever the Guggen baits Kraken craw is. This lizard looks relatively interesting, but whatever. The joystick, I think I like perhaps slightly better than the joystick ultra thin, but I don't know. The ultra thin is only $3. So you can see some of their other baits are closer to full price, but the they do have this BAMF shad in the exclusive color. We've been talking about this, and it's the one I have right over my shoulder. So if you are interested in this bait, you can now buy them just by themselves for $10. And it's this guy right here. And it's a lot greener, almost like a turquoisey blue green, and gorgeous, high quality bait that Discount Tackle is selling for 50% off right now. So this is an 8-inch bait, full open belly slot. This is a 12-aught owner beast hook designed, or that this bait was designed around. So very cool deal. I showed how to rig this bait on my last unboxing last week, but those baits are a good deal right now, so worth a look. because ordinarily those things retail at 20 bucks. And so the big ones are on sale for $17 right now, but that exclusive color is 50% off for $9.99 right now. So always good to kind of dig around a little bit. Here's another paddle tail swim bait, Pleasure Shad. There's that My Name's Jeff that we were talking about and that I showed you guys. You might be able to see it a little bit better in these photos. And we can see what they mention here. Thin paddle tail, reinforced bottom ribbing, flat top, dorsal fin. It helps it run true at any retrieve speed. Hollow body and top hook slot. So it's really just this top hook slot and the hollow body that I was referring to more than anything. Of course, they don't really give you great advice about how to rig it or anything like that, but this Cold Cuts color is one that you guys are getting, as well as the Royal Irishman. So pretty sweet. The 13 fishing baits are ones that I really don't have any experience with. His Blunt Force Finesse is more of a true trick worm than that Bubble Butt is. Like I don't know if they tell you more about the Bubble Butt and how it's supposed to be fished. Oh, it's got an air pocket in its tail. I don't know how I didn't notice that the tail section is hollow, but apparently it is. You can fill it with rattles or scents. That's cool. Okay. Beyond Shaky Heads. A lot of different ways to rig it. Cool. And it's a good deal right now, $2.99. So worth looking at for sure. So you'll notice on the homepage of Discount Tackle that they've got the end of the season sale up to 50% off. A lot of these are better than average deals. And, you can filter in a number of different ways on here, but they've got them by best selling. So you'll see a jackhammer is a slightly better deal than normal for Discount Tackle. $11.51 is a good price for a jackhammer. And it's specifically the Fire Craw color with that old matte black blade, not the new one with the fire orange blade. So all the other colors are $13.59 right now, which is not even quite as good of a deal as normal. I feel like usually they're 12 something. But anyway, Discount Tackle. Check it out, guys. Rich says, I've never thrown a 13 fishing bait either. I think might have bought a Jabberjaw, but I never opened it. Dude, the Jabberjaw is one you need to open. All right. Like I have like a small box of them, dude. I just kind of have like one in every color for the most part, but it's an underrated bait. And that clacking of the cheeks, I think really does allow this bait to bridge the gap between a square bill and a chatterbait, where much more than what you get out of the 6 Sense Axis, the Jabberjaw gives you more of a traditional square bill action. It'll hunt a little bit, but it's not wild. Many of the 6 Sense shallow diving square bills are wild, including the Axis. That thing does more than hunt. I mean, it wanders. It's kind of all over the place, and it pulls pretty hard. So the Jabberjaw definitely fishes differently than the Axis, and in my opinion, it's a more desirable action. And you get the sound of the cheeks, but no rattle inside the bait. The Axis has a rattle inside the bait, but no sound from the blade hitting the cheeks. So the Jabberjaw is a good bait, and I do recommend it. But, it's not like I have a lot of experience with 13 Fishing's baits across the board. I really don't have many of their baits. But I suppose we could do some digging and find out that information later. I probably have like one of a couple of other baits of theirs, but like I said, when they first came out onto the market with baits, because they're a rod and reel company, they came on hot and released like a full line of soft plastics and a full line of hard baits all at once. And that's a little bit off-putting to the average angler who knows a company for one thing, and then that company just decides to not just dip their toes, but go all in and not gradually establish credibility in this space. They just kind of rip the band-aid, and it's different for sure. So I'm not hating on their baits by any means, but it was weird how they kind of shot up out of nowhere. But Matt says, I'll trade you a pack of some Berkeley, Japan power flutters and Depths 5.8 bull flats for some stealth blades. Okay, deal. So I'll add some stealth blades to your care package, your fake giveaway win that you got last week, where I've got a couple jackhammers coming your way. We just need to talk colors and what your preference is, but maybe in that I'll throw you a couple of stealth blades. I've got a few in the half ounce, but most of what I throw in the jackhammer is 3/8. So deal, Matt. John says, ridiculous how much money you can save and get exactly what you want when you make your own chatterbaits. I believe that, but you say get exactly what you want. I don't know. That has not been my experience so far. And maybe it's just that I don't know exactly how to manipulate the blade, but when I've used the Queen Tackle switchblades, to make my own chatterbaits, I know it's not the same thing as making your own bait, putting on more of a traditional chatterbait blade onto that line tie before you close it up. But I haven't done that, and I think the way that the blade is and is manipulated does make a difference. I haven't been able to come up with the same action. So all power to you. If you are confident and have had great experience making your own stuff, then keep at it, dude. You say by the time I figure out what they're biting on, vendors tend to be sold out. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a fair reason, but another reason to just stay stocked, dude. Maybe you need to buy a couple in advance. Brennan says, would you sell 1 7-inch Spark Shad to me so I can mold one, please? I'll send it back if you want. Yeah, dude, no problem. I don't mind sending you one of them. I was like, do you really want one bait? Why? Well, if you're going to mold it, then by all means, yeah, for sure. I will send you one of these. You got it. No problem. You don't need to send it back. You can keep it. Daniel says, have you tried it without bending it, Tyler? I think I did initially, but no, not anytime recently. When I first got them, I think I just rigged them straight on, and it wasn't swimming right at all. And I noticed that virtually every single Z-Man chatterbait and most bladed jigs on the market have that blade that is slightly bent at the top. But when I'm looking at some of these JDM chatterbaits, for example, like this is the Depths Custom B chatter, they don't have the blade bent at all, straight out of the pack. So I don't know. Maybe that's something that I'm goofing up, is just assuming, right? This Jackal bait doesn't have it bent. So I don't know, dude. All I know is that I slay on a jackhammer and it does have it bent, you know? This jackal does have it bent. Or is this not a jackal? This is I should know. I'm a Katsu. Okay. John says it helps to have a swimming pool. I bet, dude. No doubt. I wish I had a swimming pool. Tyler, have you heard of the Geekrack Cornhead Stealth Blade? It's like a small ball head EWG underspin. What? A small ball head EWG underspin. Maybe actually. I had to read that two or three times to actually have it register. So it's a ball head with an EWG hook on it, um, but it's got an underspin right behind the ball head before the actual bend of the hook. I've definitely seen those, but Geekrack's not the first one to make them. You know, doesn't Decoy or one of those other terminal tackle companies make that already? I haven't tried them yet, though. No. Bruce, yes, the jackhammer is most definitely louder than the OG chatterbait. It thumps harder, it thumps more consistently, and you can feel it. And you can even hear it if you're running the bait by you in the water right in front of you, just pulling it. You can hear it. Um, I guarantee you it is substantially louder under the water. Tennessee Bassmaster, new sub here. Appreciate you, dude. Have I tried any G Loomis rods? No, I have not. Not yet. So here's the thing: is I'm an old fashioned fly fisherman. So um, I have taken a totally different approach in bass fishing than I do with fly fishing in getting into the sport and gradually building up an arsenal of gear. So no, I still like to play in a middle of the road price range when it comes to rods and reels, and I'd rather have more combos. That might change over time, and I'll kind of slim down. Um, Assuming I don't get into fishing tournaments or guiding or anything like that, I feel like I could probably get away with maybe a half a dozen combos and level them up a little bit. But no, I I have nothing but respect for G Loomis in general, and I certainly would try some of the Loomis rods, but not super familiar with them. Um, I know that the NRX is kind of the line to that is like their flagship, right? Daniel, I'm not quite sure what of yours thumps pretty good on a 3/4 ounce jig. Well, thank you very much, Brendan. Sounds like a deal, dude. I would imagine that's true, John, but I feel like these days availability of chatterbaits is not the issue, but you're absolutely right that I'm sure you can make a rock solid chatterbait for a good deal, right? It's just it's got to have the right hook, it's got to have the right head shape, and it's got to have the right thump. Head shape is probably the least important of those. Hook and the thump, the startup time, the right action in the blade is obviously the most important thing. But if you can replicate that, if you think you can do as good as a jackhammer on your own, then by all means, do it. All right, so Zapu makes a couple of ball heads. Oh, not with an underspin. I thought it had more of like a not an underspin, but what am I thinking of? Like a spy bait type of. Um, Deal. So not an underspin. Sorry, it was a weedless spy bait ball head type of situation, if I remember. Bruce, what in the world? First jackhammer I've tried is about dead silent and can hardly feel the thumb. I don't know what you've got paired on it as a trailer, but that can make a huge difference. And what type of rod and reel setup you have. I've mentioned this before, but I really prefer a jackhammer. Um, Dude, that just weirds me out. Yeah, I prefer something with more of like a moderate or moderate fast action. I want some give in the tip. If you're throwing a fast action, you're not going to feel it as much. If you're throwing more of a crankbait, more of a soft tip, slow loading type of rod, um, you're going to feel the bait better. You're going to get more uh, feedback from the bait, which makes a big difference. I also don't know how heavy of line you're throwing. I like 15-pound fluorocarbon for almost all of my chatterbaits. But why in the world, if you're throwing a very streamlined trailer or no trailer at all, that can be a huge issue for feeling the bait and having it run true for you. The more streamlined the trailer is or no trailer, that bait's going to be all over the place for you. When you get a bulky trailer on it, it's going to slow it down significantly and it's going to make the bait rise and you're going to feel the bait quite a bit more. So I wonder how you're fishing that and why it's not doing the trick for you, Bruce. But sorry to hear that, dude. Sounds like a deal, Brennan. Appreciate it, dude. I'm not sure about that, Matt, whether the bent blade um, has anything to do with startup time or keeping it down in the water. I should know that um, for being someone who likes fishing chatterbaits as much as I do. I just, I've gotten I've figured out ways around manipulating the blade um, to get the type of action that I want when it comes to depth. Uh, I'm sure it could affect startup time. For me, it's been more about the thickness of the blade and where the blade is attached on the bladed jig itself that gives it that startup time and the just how pronounced the thump is has to do with the material of the blade and just how um, direct the connection is. Dude, congrats. Yeah, Loomis would be a good place to look, no doubt. But there's a lot of good rod makers out there these days, so I'm not going to stand behind one more than another because I think a lot of people are doing things right. I think St. Croix is a good place to start, but everyone has their own personal preferences. I know that Dobbins makes some great stuff. I don't know if Rich is still in here, but um, Rich could give you more than enough information on anything and everything Dobbins. The Champion XP is going to be a lot like you get over with the NRX from G Loomis in terms of quality. It's just preference in action and how the rods feel because I think St. Croix tend to be a little bit softer. 20 minutes of runtime, max in 12 foot of water. Powder coat already looks like poop chipped up. What are you talking about? Bruce says two different rods, same line and reels. Um, so you used a Fluke and the Jeff on the back of them. Dobbins 734. How fast are you fishing the bait, Bruce? Sounds like you are crawling the thing on bottom. Because if you're actually running it 12 feet down, and if your bait is chipped up, my guess is that you're running that thing on the bottom. Probably not how you're going to want to be fishing it. In my experience, a chatterbait is most effective when fished medium to medium fast. After that, I would err on the side of faster than slower. I would burn a chatterbait before I would slow crawl a chatterbait. But just like a lot of other baits, I do think that there is generally a sweet spot in terms of the thump, the vibration, and the action for, let's use a whopper plopper as the best example, because it's the most easy to notice when you're fishing the bait, right? You cast it out there, you start slow retrieving it, and you can hear it kind of plop, 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 like very subtle, maybe even just kind of like a whirring kind of. As you start to pick it up, that tone gets louder and louder until it becomes this deep resonating kind of. That's not even a great imitation, but once you get too fast burning in a whopper plopper, that pitch gets higher, not louder. The frequency goes up, and it changes. It turns the fish off. The same thing happens with a chatterbait. I find that like a true medium fast retrieve speed gets bit the best. And for me, that happens to be in that, say, 2 to 5 feet of water. I'm not fishing it low and slow, and I'm not typically burning it in that top foot of the water column. But it is a shallow water bait for the most part for me. Bruce says, burning most of the time. It's chipped up, never touched the bottom. Powder coat has shit the bed. I paid retail for it. I would have throat punched someone. Dude, I have no idea. I mean, yeah, the paint chips off, but it's from the blade hitting the head and also from the bait scraping the bottom. So whatever. I would get over the fact that the paint is chipping, and you need to commit to the bait, because if and when that clicks for you, I think you will feel like it's a bit of a game changer, because I've fished dozens and dozens of different chatterbaits, and a lot of them are pretty good. Some of them just downright suck, but I'm telling you right now that the Jackhammer, the Thunder Cricket, the Mini Max are all at the top of the list of what you can get your hands on domestically here in the US. And I think the Jackhammer stands way ahead of the other ones, but that's me personally. Walmart cheapo is at least 3 times louder. That is not true at all, dude. That's horrible, though. Brendan says, "Have you ever yo-yoed a chatterbait?" Yes, I have. Exactly like a lipless. I've had most success with that in the spring, early spring, which for me is like April, right? So when the water is probably just cresting 50 degrees, so they're still feeding on craws, and that lipless bite is good. They're still eating red baits. I have absolutely killed it on the Heights Hot Craw color jackhammer chatterbait. Just pulling this thing up off of bottom and letting it fall back down, rest for a few seconds, pull, let that thing fall back down. So just enough. The jackhammer starts up so fast that just the littlest pull, pulling that thing up 3-6 inches off the bottom, it will start up and chop, fall back down. So yes, I have done it. I don't do it all that frequently anymore. And for me, it is mostly a springtime technique for imitating a craw. But something that I did a little bit more of a few years back that I didn't do a lot of this year. I guess it depends on the spots that I'm fishing. But yep, good technique, man. No, dude, I have not tried the slobber knocker just yet. So I will try them because I do consider myself kind of a chatterbait geek, and it's one of my favorite techniques. So given that it's on the market and is getting some attention, is supposed to be a good bait, and is slightly different, I'm gonna try it for sure. I'll probably grab a couple of them, but I haven't tried them just yet. I haven't been in a super rush to try them, just because I don't anticipate it jumping to the absolute top of my list. Um, if I were to guess, I think it's going to fall somewhere right in that, say, top 3 as alongside the Thunder Cricket for me. You know, for me, the Thunder Cricket is like a flat-sided chatterbait, right? It's a very fast chatterbait. It starts up quick. It's got an awesome hook on it, being that owner jungle flipping hook as opposed to the Gamakatsu in the jackhammer. I don't like the skirt nearly as well because it's banded and not hand tied, but this thing does swivel a little bit, and the blade is a little bit thinner as well, and it's got a more subtle vibration to it, but it's still very good. It is still pronounced, just not like the jackhammer is. So I think it's a good like 1B to the jackhammer. And I think the slobber knocker could come in as being a bait that also comes toward the top in that it has a fast startup and a great hook in it. But that maybe it's a tool more geared toward fishing in heavy cover than either the jackhammer or the Thunder Cricket, where I might be more apt to throw those first in grass, second around rock, but probably not in wood. So maybe the slobber knocker is going to be that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Hey, Rich, thank you so much for hanging out, dude. I didn't expect anybody to be in here for that long. We probably won't be on for too much longer, but thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you for sending people over here. I appreciate it. Um, I did watch the last half hour or so of your live stream. Once I told a few people that I was going to go on, and they said everyone was already watching you. So I started watching you until it felt like you might never hop off. So I just decided to start going regardless. But thank you so much for jumping in. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend, and peace out. I think Brendan said he was leaving too. See you later, Brendan. Yeah, I understand, guys. It's 11 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. So no worries to anybody who has to leave. But what did you guys think about these 13 fishing soft plastics that I showed you? Because we should talk about them. There was one other bait that I had pulled up that I wanted to show you guys from 13 that I thought I had pulled up. Let's see if I can go ahead and do this now. Scoot on back to 13. Didn't I have it pull up here? This guy. This was a bait that I almost bought in this past month's discount tackle package. The Invader. So this is a creature bait, a flipping bait that looks pretty thick and looks pretty good. So again, it's got these, hook slots on the back. It's got these rabbit ear kickers and a big fat body. I like some of these color patterns. This reminds me a lot of the Kitech. What do they call it? Green. I don't even know. Some of these are selling out, but $3.74 normally go for $5.99. So some of it's tempting, right? They've got a swimming worm here called the Ninja. Anyway, what do you think about those three baits that I got and showed you guys and decided to give away to you guys? Now, a couple of them are in a few different sizes, but what do you think about that really skinny worm that I thought reminded me of like an old cut tail or curly tail style worm? A little bit old school, I thought. And then that bubble butt is, I mean, everybody seems to have a shaky head style worm, but it's got the air pocket in the tail and it's got a couple of little cut grooves to it that make me feel like it's going to have a little bit more action on a Neko rig, on a wacky rig, a weighted wacky rig, on a shaky head. Bunch of different applications that I think that bubble butt could do well with. And then the My Name's Jeff bait seems a little bit weird for me. I maybe it'll be good. It reminds me of another bait that I used to throw that has a swim bait body, but like just a unconventional paddle tail. I should totally remember what this bait was called. It was a Kalen's. Can you guys help me out? It was made by Kalen's, and it might have had grub in the name, but it had a swim bait body. That was an interesting one. John Lee, peace out, dude. Thanks for hanging out. I would love to be going fishing tomorrow, but I highly doubt that I am. And Sunday? I think I'm working Sunday, but if I'm not working, I'm fishing. I don't know yet. Look at, I updated my lock screen. Beautiful photo of my wife in Hawaii. Every time I see that photo, I'm just like, yeah, my wife's hot. It's true. All right, everyone's saying good night. Should we sign out of here, guys? Morongo grub? Mogombo? What are you talking about, Dustin? I don't think that's what it was called. I probably have it in a whole bunch of stuff. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Mongo grub, what'd you call it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's the Seismic grub. Seismic. Do you guys remember this bait? Check this thing out. So it's got like a swim bait style body. And then this giant kicker tail to it. It's got this ball segment separating the body and the tail. They make it in a bunch of sizes. This is one of the bigger sizes. This is like a 4.8 inch. So that tail is just absolutely massive, but they make it in some smaller sizes. Like this is a 3.8 inch. Then they even make it in a baby, like 3 inch size. But this 3.8 inch is probably the most friendly to, a swim jig or something of the sort. But now that I look at it, this is definitely different than the My Name is Jeff. But I thought of this bait when I opened that one. But these Kalen's baits are old, dude. I think they've been discontinued for a couple of years now. Carl, thank you very much. I think she's beautiful too. I'll give you guys one more quick look at my smoke show of a wife. Um, yeah, Matt. Old baits that get the job done. I'm surprised there aren't more baits out there like this. But sometimes good baits come out and they just don't perform. So I had picked a bunch of these up when they were on clearance a couple years back. Got them for like $2 a pack. And so same deal as like what you get here with these 13 fishing baits. Um, only question is like, do you end up using them or not? Yeah, would be good on a swim jig or football head, swing head, which is really why I thought of that when I got the My Name's Jeff. Was like, oh, wobble head could be the deal, right? Where you get that flat head design and then that tail that will just kind of kick as you're dragging the bait or swimming it on bottom. So I think that's where it'll do best, but I don't know, dude. Seismic Mr. Twister? No, dude. Check it out. Kalen's. Kalen's Seismic Grub. It even says UncleJosh.com, dude. So Kalen's and Uncle Josh, those guys got left behind like a decade ago. Just did not keep up with the times. And then I think they're trying. Uncle Josh is back. They've got the giant pork frog now. Um, Mr. Twister's not doing a great job either, dude. A lot of these companies need to just ramp up their marketing efforts and maybe update some of their graphic design. It's unfortunate because a lot of that is important in this day and age, is the way that packaging looks and where you advertise and how you market, who it is that is representing or helping market your baits. Sometimes just the way that you name your products. You certainly don't need to be 13 fishing and naming your stuff borderline inappropriate things, but you also need to get away from uh, really old school ways of thinking. Um, so, some companies have done a better job of that in adapting to the times, and some companies have just gotten left behind and in the dust because they have refused to adapt. And such is the market and where we're at, unfortunately. Yeah, Kalen still has awesome grubs. Seismic frogs, more subtle Rubio frog, interesting. Um, Little more action than a horny toad. Nice. More subtle ribbit. Okay, so right in between like a ribbit and a horny toad. That's cool. I have heard of those, but I don't think I ever tried the seismic frogs. You wonder if Kalen's bought Seismic Lure Company. I don't know. Certainly could be. Earth shattering action, they say. Seismic. Procure makes that scent for Bass Dynasty. Makes me think if I can get the Procure one. Stays on pretty well, says Matt. I don't know. I did not catch your guys' scent comment from before, so sorry. Yeah, I haven't tried Bass Dynasty scent. Dude, I still did not go down the rabbit hole of the scent test that I wanted to do this season. I had bought uh, the Mega Strike and a handful of other scent stuff at the time that I bought the bait fuel. So this was like preseason or early season this year, and then it turned out that I really only utilized the bait fuel this year. Of course, not this bottle. The one that I've used, I've probably used a quarter of the bottle. Um, so not a crazy amount. When I first started using it, I was like, oh shoot, I'm just gonna start dumping this in like all of my soft plastic um, bags that I've got that like my Zoom bags that I can't put in hard boxes because they'll warp them, or my Yamamoto baits that I keep in their bags, or Z-Man baits. There were a whole bunch of baits that I'm like, okay, they're either not scented or they need to stay in their original packaging for one reason or another. I'm just gonna pour some in as if it's scent and boom, they'll be ready to go. That is not the way to do it because this stuff does dry out. Um, I don't recommend that you put bait fuel in bags and leave it. It will coagulate and dry out and get kind of goopy and weird on your bait. So you're either going to want to pre-soak these like the night before and only do it with as many baits as you think you're going to use, or you're just going to want to apply it in the moment. And this will last as long as all the other scents out there. You might want to reapply every 10, 15 minutes or whatever you think is appropriate. Cool thing about bait fuel is you can really tell when you lather this on, it is super slick. Um, I don't want to say it's oily because it's not oily. When you wipe your hands or you rub it into your hands, then it's no longer, it doesn't feel like it's on there anymore, right? So it's not like other scents where it's super oily and you wipe it and then it's still there and it has no scent either. So um, those two things were awesome for me. I could wipe it on myself, I could rub it into my skin, I could do anything with it and it didn't stain, it didn't stink. That was enough to really convince me to start using it more. And I did find a number of scenarios, especially in the spring in bedding situations and where I was sight fishing and fish were being stubborn. And I would notice the bait fuel would make a difference in that situation. Now, when I went places and just tried to fish the bait fuel alongside other things, there it's like there were almost too many factors in the way for me to determine whether the bait fuel was making a difference or not. So, um I can't tell you definitively whether like this will always make a difference, but I do know that there are certain scenarios where there are picky fish or bedding fish where it does make a difference. So, I'm probably just going to err on the side of using this more often than not, at least for the next season, and see how that goes. But for now, bait fuel is kind of my deal, and it's weird because it's a little bit um, in your head. Like you just have to trust the science and that fish can detect that, even though we can't. Right? So whatever. Sorry, we could go down a rabbit hole talking about that for a while. You think Rapala is one of those companies? They don't make anything really different anymore, like a wow factor, huh? So you want something to shock you that Rapala makes, um, when really most of what they make is fairly mainstream, right? I mean, yeah, I guess it's really just the Otts Garage baits that have been new in the last handful of years. the brats before that. And so these days, what the mid-sized brat and the Rocco Squarebill are the two new additions to the Rapala line. Um, yeah, the BX was the only thing I thought was pretty interesting. Rapala came out with. But yeah, JP's right. The Tiny OG is sick. Relatively hard to cast. Yep. But it is a great bait. Durability should not be really a factor or something that we're talking about when we're talking about a lightweight balsa flat-sided crankbait. But yeah, it is a really good bait. Taku was giving up the nori scent on his recent video. Yeah, the nori scent. I was tempted to chase that down a year ago when he first blew his own cover, but I didn't chase it down. I don't fish tournaments. I don't need that, but of course, gets you curious, right? So, bait fuel was that for me this year. Maybe eventually I'll try that Nori's Bass Bite liquid. I'll go to hell if I keep trying to say that. Okay, guys, we've been on for an hour and 36 minutes. I'm gonna down this beer and let's get out of here. Let's end on a good note. Bruce, I will check my Instagram when I get a chance. Guys, to the people, I know I have packages that need to be sent out. I have those all written down already. If you think I promised you a package that I'm not remembering, hit me up. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for your time. Hit the thumbs up button. I can't see on here because I'm streaming on StreamYard, not on YouTube's platform. So I can just see that there's 18 people in here right now. I don't see how many thumbs up, but do me that solid. Hit that thumbs up. Go visit Discount Tackle. Use my affiliate links that are in the description down below. And go check out some of the deals on Discount Tackle, whether it's 13 Fishing Soft Plastics or other. They've got some good stuff on there. In fact, let's just double check right now while we're at it, whether or not they still have the 5-inch mag drafts in stock. So we're going to go to new arrivals. We're going to give her a little scrolly rolly. They've got some new rock crawlers. Oh, the new Speed Demon is in. This is supposed to be an interesting flat-sided crankbait from Spro. Maybe not totally flat-sided, but it's a circuit board. 3 to 6 foot, 3 to 5 foot diver. So that should be an interesting bait. New release, newly available on Discount Tackle, and it's discounted. $12.74. But this is the 5-inch mag draft. JDM, $12.99. I think it's cheaper here than what you could get it for over at the Hookup or elsewhere. So they've got 3 of the colors in stock right now. I picked all of those up. There's a new mule fishing soft plastic. I don't know that I knew about the mule minnow. 3 different sizes. 1.2, 2.2, and 3.2. Interesting. This is just like almost like a straight tail worm type of thing. Man, I bet that's good in a 3.2 inch as a drop shot bait. So mule fishing, Ethan has been putting out some good stuff, and I love to support him. So check out mule fishing. So I always love to check out what's new at Discount Tackle. They've got the Shimano spinner baits, that 13 Fishing top water that's kind of a knockoff of the shower blows, the new shad shaped worms, which I showed you guys last week, which I'm pretty jacked about, in these new 3-inch shad shaped worms. Going to be awesome on a drop shot. So anyway, guys, go check out Discount Tackle. Hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment after this video posts so that the YouTube algorithm grabs it a little bit, knows that a few people actually maybe watch this on the replay or at least left a comment. So thank you guys for hanging out. I super appreciate you guys. It's always fun hanging out, talking fishing and talking baits. So congratulations again to, what was his name? Sean? I should know. But congrats to our giveaway winner this evening. Please claim your gift and I will send it out in the next couple of days, early this week, okay? It's very convenient. My phone is ringing. I'm out of here, guys. You have a great rest of your night. Talk to you soon. Peace.